Potato, hot potato. Hot potato, hot potato. Potato, hot potato. 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 All right, welcome to Vasily's Gardening Show. So this is a request by Joe regarding some tips for your summer crops. So what I usually do is I plant a green manure, and I get this from the CSIRO, and it's a special mix of clever clover and bio mustard. And you can also use other things such as lucerne, peas, beans, chickpeas, etc. I often plant broad beans as well and dig those in before they mature. And the idea is it cleanses the soil. So it's a biofumigant, and what it does is it provides really healthy nutrients into the soil and fixes nitrogen to the soil. So that means it cleanses and gets rid of those nasty nematodes and things which affect particularly brassicas. So you get club root and also your tomatoes, which get wilt. So if you have this regular practice, you get less chance of having these diseases infect your crops, and therefore you get healthier vegetables. You don't need to use chemicals or pesticides at all, and the plants thrive. So you get lots of things that eat the nasties. You get lots of ladybirds, which are fantastic. They eat all the thrips. You get earwigs, which are really good as well, and you get also helpful wasps, which pick off all the nasty bugs. So it's a very good natural environment that you create within your own veggie garden. And you don't have to dig, so it just sits in on the soil. Anyway, enough of the preamble. So it's scientifically proven, and more farmers are now using this approach rather than just pouring superphosphate and other chemicals on the soil. So let's have a look at what takes place. So there's my granddaughter a couple of years ago in the green manure. So you can see it gets to about that height. It's about 1 metre. It hasn't started to flower yet. So this is the time that you would then chop it down. And there's some of the produce grown over the years. Summer vegetables, so you get a steady supply. Don't have to go to the shops for anything during probably November through to about April. All right, so what happens there? So that is the crop. Behind that, you can see that's the tail end of the brassicas. So they're your winter crop. So this would have been planted probably about August, and it grows incredibly quickly, maybe a bit earlier than August, maybe about July. Grows incredibly quickly, and then you just chop it down, and it just sits on the soil. So that's all the bio mustard. Right? So that's the clever clover and mustard, and you chop it down, it just sits on top of the soil. I don't do anything else. So I chop it down pretty much at the roots, just get a standard garden hoe, and just let it sit there. It probably sits there for about another 2 or 3 weeks and just gradually decomposes, then probably another 2 or 3 weeks. So in total, anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks. And eventually it just rots down to that. And so these shoots, you can sort of see a few still there. They're still producing nitrogen underneath the soil. So you can just nip them off at the top, but they still are working underneath. And so within another week or two, I can then plant into that. And that's just totally regenerated that soil, cleansed it, cleaned it all out, and it's ready to go. And this time I planted potatoes. So you get a whole different set of varieties there. Probably got 5 or 6 varieties there. So Kipflers, Royal Blues, King Edwards, Nicholas, Dutch creams, just fantastic. Just a wide range of potatoes for various reasons. So mashing and in salads or for making really good chips or roasting. And they would then keep in the pantry from, I picked them late December, and that would go all the way until May in a pantry. Put them in Hessian bags, put a bit of lavender in there, which makes them last longer. So if you've had a really good season, they're nice and dry, they will last for months. And just beautiful tasting potatoes. And that's what I just did the other day. So this is this year's crop gone in. So it's a bit harder this year because of a huge amount of rain we've had, and also with COVID, hard to get supplies. So I was able to get my hands on Kipflers, which are the sausage potatoes, that one there, and they're beautiful in salads. And the other ones, the bigger ones over here, are Dutch cream. So they're the only two varieties I could get this year. And while I was doing this, the birds are just fantastic this year. They look so fit and healthy, and they're just hoeing into all the grubs and worms as I'm tilling the soil. So they were just right beside me the whole time. And that's some of last year's cherries, tomatoes, hoping that's a similar crop for this year. And that dusting in there, that is blood and bone, which you mix in with the potatoes. Right, what's next is the final celebratory toast after you've been able to accomplish all this, and that is beetroot juice. And another one of the nice little pleasures at the end of the year where you get all these lovely fresh fruit juices. Right, hopefully that was useful and informative. It's a great pastime, and I've already been down there nearly every day this week getting stuck into it. So looking forward to a good summer crop.